Have you ever just looked at something and it feels right? I mean, why does the swirl of a galaxy, or the tilework in an ancient mosque, or even a wild splatter painting, why do they all feel so beautiful to us? Well, it turns out the answer isn't just in what we're looking at. It's actually in the very structure of the mind that's doing the looking.
So, what is it about patterns? What's this deep, almost universal pull we have towards order and complexity? Is it something we just learn to like, or is it something way more fundamental, something basically written into our DNA? Let's start by looking at where these patterns show up.
And the first clue is, well, it's everywhere. Just look at the natural world. You've got the perfect spiral of a nautilus shell, the incredible six-sided symmetry of a snowflake. It's like nature itself is a master of geometry. It's speaking a language of pure mathematics. And the amazing thing is, it's a language we seem to understand without even trying. I mean, take an artist like Jackson Pollock. His famous drip paintings, they're intensely fractal. And that just means they have patterns that repeat at different sizes, just like a coastline or the branches on a tree. He wasn't some mathematician, but he intuitively found a visual structure our brains are just wired to love.
And this isn't just something individuals do. Whole cultures build these patterns into their most sacred and important places. Think about Hindu temples, where these self-repeating fractal designs are meant to represent the entire cosmos, or the incredible geometric tiles you see in Islamic mosques. In these places, the pattern becomes a way to connect with something bigger than us. And that's the key. For centuries, this stuff wasn't just pretty decoration. Nope, it was a sophisticated kind of technology, a technology for shaping human consciousness.
The ancient Greeks were all over this. For a guy like Plato, geometry wasn't just a boring subject you learn in school. It was the key, the essential key to understanding the very fabric of reality.
In Islamic art and architecture, this idea gets translated into visual form through a really core concept called tawhid. It's the belief that everything in creation, all its incredible variety and complexity, unfolds from one single, indivisible source, from God. And you can literally see how this works. The pattern starts with a single point, that's unity. Then a grid radiates out from it. As those lines cross and intersect, this immense complexity is born. But every single part of it can be traced right back to that one starting point. It's a visual metaphor for the entire universe. So when you're in a place like the Great Mosque of Kairouan, you're not just standing in a building. You are inside a contemplative tool. Those endless columns, they're there to suggest God's infinite presence. The round dome of heaven rests on the square base of the earth. The entire design is meant to turn simple stone into a spiritual experience. Okay, so this brings up a really fascinating question. We've seen this pattern in art and faith for thousands of years, but what if its power comes from somewhere even deeper? What if the pattern isn't just something we create, but something we are? All right, let's get into the neuroscience a bit. What is actually going on up there when we look at these intricate, complex patterns? Well, a study from the National Institutes of Health looked at this exact thing. They showed people fractal patterns, some simple, some really complex, and they measured their brain activity. The result? It was crystal clear. People consistently preferred the more complex fractals. It's almost like our brains have an appetite for this kind of visual detail. And here's the crucial part. This isn't just a matter of personal taste. It seems to be rooted in the fundamental wiring of how we see the world. It's part of our biological blueprint. And this is where it gets absolutely wild. When we look at the research on geometric hallucinations, the kinds of patterns people see under certain conditions, and compare them to the known firing patterns of neurons in our brains, the match is just astonishing. The spirals and tunnels people report seeing, they correspond perfectly to striped patterns of neural activity. The honeycombs and lattices, they align with hexagonal patterns. It's a one-to-one match. The implication here is, it's staggering. When we see these pure geometric forms, whether it's in a piece of art or in our own heads, we might actually be getting a direct glimpse of the operating system of our own brain. We are literally seeing the architecture of our own perception. So, if this pattern is in our art and it's mirrored in our minds, where did it come from in the first place? Okay, let's zoom back out and look at nature's geometric code. And there it is again, the same universal blueprint. The math that grows the spiral of a shell is the same math that's at play in the branching of a tree. The incredible efficiency of a honeycomb's hexagon,
That's a deep geometric principle. It's a fundamental language of growth and form that you see all across the cosmos.
This really connects everything, doesn't it? The sacred, the scientific, the natural world. It all points to a pattern so constant that it led Plato to his simple but profound conclusion: God geometrizes continually.
You know, our quest to understand this universal pattern is one of the oldest stories we have. We've always been trying to decode the world around us. It's just our tools that keep changing. I mean, way back around 800 BCE, builders in India were using precise rope and peg systems to make geometrically perfect altars. Then in the 9th century, Islamic artisans were using compasses to create these beautiful, mathematically perfect patterns. Fast forward to the 20th century, and you have Pollock using sticks and dripping paint.
And today, we're using our most powerful tools yet. Scientists are using AI and quantum computers to find hidden patterns in systems so complex we could never see them before, like the global flow of carbon dioxide through our planet's atmosphere. The search for the code, it never stops.
So we've traced this one elegant pattern all the way from the walls of our most sacred temples to the deep wiring of our own brains, and we saw it reflected back at us in the fabric of nature itself.
It really seems like the code of the universe is all around us and it's inside of us. So the only real question left is, with all our new tools and our new understanding, where are we going to find it next?